Hey guys, what is up? It is Jimmy, and today I have the LEGO M1911. So this is a revamped version of the one I made a couple of years ago. It is probably my top pistol, also my most popular tutorial. We'll just go over with the things that I've changed since the previous version. As you can see, the back of the grip is a lot more realistic now. It's got a much more comfortable thumb safety, so now it's actually as it should be. And the grip overall just looks a lot more realistic with the new shaping in the back. We also have added a fake magazine release because there's no reason to have a working one with such a small magazine. So the magazine has a few holes added onto it now, just so that it looks a bit better when it's just out of the gun. So it's supposed to be the ones that show how many rounds you have. There's also a round on top, and it just goes into the grip nicely, just like so. The trigger sadly does not work. I am not able to make a working trigger with the amount of space that's in here because the grip connection has also been updated. So it makes so that there's even less space, as you can see in the gap here. That's all the space I have to work with. So the trigger will remain static probably forever, but it is there. The trigger guard is not too much different. So the slide and the slide lock are pretty much the same, just that it works a lot more smoother than the previous one because these parts are completely new. The front part still looks a little bit thin, but there's nothing to do about that really. We have the rubber band in there. I did end up giving it some new iron sights, so now the iron sights are a bit more accurate to the standard M1911 rather than a type of race 1911 or something like that. And yeah, there's nothing really else updated. It's pretty much just the grip that's been upgraded and the sights. So yeah, I also ended up making a whole ton of attachments, so let's have a look. We're gonna start off with possibly the simplest attachment that I made. This is a little laser module. So it's got a little switch at the back there where you turn it on, and then it's just got a little red stud there just for detail. So it just pops onto the bottom here. There's no real rail for it because I didn't have the black parts for it, but it's just supposed to be a little thing that looks kind of cool. So we also have something that has a bit more of a usability. This is a flashlight that actually has a switch that you can turn. So that also just attaches on the bottom right here. So it attaches to the trigger guard just like so, and then the switch kind of works off of the trigger guard, so it gets stopped with the trigger guard. So now it's off, and now it's on. So if we just remove a plate from the bottom, we can then attach our compensator. Just like so. Now we have a compensated M1911. So the compensator is just really simply made, as you can see. It's just a couple of plates and bricks, then it just has a few holes through it. We can also update our magazine a tiny bit with a mag drop plate that is supposed to protect the magazine when you drop it. And just like that, it's attached. And now it also looks a bit better when you have the compensator in. So while these sights are pretty nice, they're not quite competition worthy, so we can just pop them right off. And we can put on some new ones. So here we have some Tritium iron sights, which mean that they have this type of paint that kind of lights up in the dark. So we have this bigger type of magazine that allows the bottom to be double stacked so you can fit more bullets. And it also makes the pistol look really cool. So while these sights are okay, we could always use an optic. So it just attaches to the bottom just like so. We have the little turn dial so you can turn it on and off. And the mount is just built with hinges, so sadly it can just flop around. So if you're not happy with the compensation that the compensator puts out, then we may as well attach a larger weight with a compensator attached. So this is just a large unit that sits on top. We have a kind of lead weight on the bottom. Then this is supposed to be a compensator. I ran out of hole pieces, so it's just like that. And then also we have a laser on the bottom there. So I guess sometimes stealth is an option, but we also have a option for that. We have a suppressor that is just a little bit blocky because it's supposed to be 3 wide, but it is a suppressor regardless, and it just attaches just like that. So this is a bit weighty because it's almost the weight of the whole slide, so it tends to kind of pull up on the back a little bit, but the slide does still work. So where there's an option for stealth, there's an option for going all out. So now we have the red dot sight, the Tritium iron sights, the Compensator, the flashlight, the extended magazine, and also a stock. So the stock does look a little bit interesting, but it is fully flush with the pistol, as you can see. And it does actually work as a stock. It is a little bit fragile because of the jumper plates holding the grip together, but you can actually use it as a stock. It's a bit flimsy, of course, but it is a stock nonetheless. So you can have a fully pimped out M1911. So yeah, that is pretty much it. There's actually nothing else, believe it or not, to this 1911. So, whoops. Hopefully you enjoyed this remake, and yeah, I'll see you guys. Goodbye.